and welcome to CC. This is a podcast by fans for fans. This is basically just a test for me to get my head around what the hell I'm doing, because I've never done this before. In subsequent episodes, we'll have a co-host by the name of Riddler. My name out there is Grand Moff Monocle. Basically, who are we? We're just a guild of MMO players who came together in a game called DC Universe. We sort of got bored with that game, but enjoyed playing together. We all realised we were going to be playing Star Wars The Old Republic, so we've stuck together and are waiting the release of said game. So with that, I'm going to get into talking about the game a bit. Can't talk about too much, simply because, well, I've never played it. I'm not in beta. Just going to talk about a few different bits and pieces. In an interview with Darth Hater, James Oland, the senior creative director, said that player retention is going to be elder game and re-rolling, which seems to me pretty standard par for the course. That's what most MMOs focus on, because obviously once you've reached max level, you want to play with your friends. That's what you do. That's where it's a social game essentially. Rerolling is fine. Something I certainly plan on doing, especially in this game with the level of story. I want to see all of those stories on both factions, and me and the whole of the guild pretty much are going to be playing Empire, but I'm certainly interested in seeing the Republic side of things from the videos I've been watching. And just because it's a BioWare game, BioWare, their story levels in all their games, if you look at Knights of the Old Republic or Dragon Age or any of their games really, their story, or Mass Effect, how did I forget that? One of my favourite games ever. The storytelling in those games is just amazing. It's some of the best in the industry. But obviously you have to focus around what they're calling Elder Game, which is, it's going to be raids. You know, I mean, let's face it, that's what probably the majority of PvE players are going to be doing. I know a lot of people, certainly on the forums, will be like, oh, why are raiders getting all the good stuff? Why are raiders getting all the gear? It's just what most people do. That's what they're into. It's what I'm going to be doing. I'm not even a hardcore raider, but, you know, I want to play with my friends. That's probably what they're going to be doing, so I'm going to be doing it as well. Not because I don't enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but I want to play with my friends. That's what they're doing, so that's what I'm going to be doing. It makes sense for them to be focusing on that. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have other things in the game. Obviously, there's going to be PvP, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. There's going to be a plethora of quests, exploration. The whole Datacron system looks very interesting. There's a member of our guild called Psycho. He is a big explorer. He's quite a completionist. He will be doing a lot of that, and frankly, I will be saying, how do I do this? And he'll be showing it to me. But what else is there in the game that I want to talk about? Well, there is... they've confirmed there's going to be titles in the game, like Darth, Lord, things like that. Haven't really heard what you're going to be getting for, say, the non-Force class users. And I can't really think of any appropriate ones, but that will be interesting to see what they come out with for that. Not sure how I feel about how, from what I've heard, that they're going to be implementing. Apparently you're going to be able to get your titles through your story arc. Don't have a massive problem with that, but certain titles, like the Darth or the Lord title, in my opinion, and I stress this is just my opinion, it's just, you know, I think they should be difficult to get. I think they should be very, very difficult. Some huge quest line, perhaps not necessarily you have to do, like, raiding to get it, but just some massive quest chain, perhaps, or just be very difficult, because things like that, I think they are a little bit special. I think they should be attainable, because I absolutely want, you know, Darth, whatever character I choose to have, but I should have to work for it. I absolutely believe that. I know some people on the forums they think differently. That's just my opinion. Starships, how you get around the galaxy. The starships in this game are absolutely beautiful. I've got some in front. I'm just looking at some. They are absolutely stunning. Some of them are so good. The one for the Imperial Agent, the Phantom, that is such a beautiful ship. I almost decided to roll Imperial Agent just because the ship looks that good. I'm probably going to end up rolling Sith Warrior just because, hey, it's Star Wars. I want a lightsaber. Call me unoriginal. I don't care, but that's what I want to do. But everyone gets their own starship. I know the Jedi classes and the Sith classes share a starship, but they all look beautiful. The Mantis, which is the bounty hunter one, really, it's very evocative of the Slave one, which was Boba Fett's starship in the Star Wars films, but different enough that it's got its own unique. It's not like, oh my god, that's a clone, but it looks very, very nice. Difficult to for you without the ability to show you images, but I'm sure anyone who's interested in this game has probably already seen them. They've said that in an interview with Ask a Jedi, they were talking about guild capital ships, and they've pretty much said they're going to be in. If not at launch, then very soon afterwards. Some people on forums seem to hate this idea. It's very much, oh, what's the point? Oh, there's no point in it. And my opinion on things like guild capital ships or player housing in general, or even in, say, World of Warcraft, there was the plans for the dance studio, is if enough players want a feature and it has zero impact on gameplay, then you should give it to the community. My reasoning behind this is it doesn't affect you. It's something I would like to be able to do. In this case, Guild Capital Ship is going to be very similar to the concept of player housing. In my guild, so I can only talk about people that people I've spoken to. I can't talk for anyone else. We're very interested in it, but it doesn't affect you. Why do you care? Why do you feel the need to go, oh, it shouldn't be in the game, I don't see the point in it? Okay, you don't see the point in it. Then don't use the functionality of it. I want it. A lot of other players want it. So let us have it. That's just what I think on that. Also regarding guilds, they've said that their guild cap's going to be about 500, which seems a reasonable size. I know a lot of large websites, things like PC Gamer, Total Biscuit, they have their own guilds in various games, and I know the Total Biscuit one, I think that was somewhere along 1,500 to 2,000. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong on that. So, I mean, that number might get increased in the future. 500, it seems a reasonable size. I don't really have a problem with that. What else really is they going to be doing in the game? Endgame, obviously, that's going to be a big thing. PvP, a lot of people love their PvP. I've never been a big PvP fan myself. However, looking at the videos and the descriptions of some of these PvP scenarios, I think I'll definitely be checking them out. There's 3 that are going to be in the game at launch. They'll obviously, not obviously, but presumably more will get released over the lifetime of the game. There's the Void Star. I've got the description of the Void Star in front of me, and what does it say? The Void Star is a derelict Imperial battle cruiser that has disappeared during the Great War. The ship is believed to contain the schematics of a powerful weapon. Now it has been rediscovered, floating in the depth of space. Both the Empire and Republic are racing to take control of the vessel and access the secrets stored around its memory banks. It's a capture and hold type PvP scenario. If you're attacking, you've got to get to a certain point. The enemy have got to stop you. That's pretty much it. Seems reasonably interesting. I watched the video on it earlier today looks very, very good. That's all I can say about that, really, because I've only seen this one video. So certainly going to be checking that out. I believe that's going to be a later level one. You'll do that when you're a higher level. I could be wrong about that. The other one is Alderaan. As two powerful armadas battle in the skies above Alderaan, a grand war wages between Republic and Imperial forces for control of 3 separate laser cannons that have taken aim at the fleets above the planet. Whichever side controls the turret controls the battle. This is a resource gathering / node type thing. You have your nodes. I can't remember whether it's 3 or 5. I should really have already looked that up. Apologies there. But yes, you capture your nodes. In this case, they are laser cannons, and you shoot your enemy ships out the sky. I've seen quite a lot of video on this. It looks very interesting. Quite looking forward to playing it. The one I'm most interested in is Huttball. A dangerous new sport has captured the hearts and mind of the people of smugglers of the A dangerous new sport has captured the hearts and mind of the people on the smuggler's moon of Nar Shaddaa, sponsored by the famed Gorada the Hutt. Huttball pits some of the galaxy's most powerful opponents against each other in an intense contest, with fame and fortune at stake. Super excited about this. Saw the video, heard the description, I want to play this, and as I have said, not a big PvP fan at all, but I am very, very excited about this. A lot of the people that I've spoken to are, this is the one we really want to play. Some people on the forums are like, oh, I don't see the point in it. I'm a Jedi wandering around. Why would I be playing this sport? My response there would be, don't play it then. If you don't want to, don't play it. You're not forced to play it. I think it's an excellent concept, especially the fact that you can have Empire versus Empire and Republic versus Republic. It will certainly help on queue times if there's faction imbalance on a certain server. You at least have one that theoretically the queues won't be too long for. Gonna sign off there because, as I said, this was just a test. Anything else I want to quickly mention? First of all, a big shout out to my guild, The Conspiracy, which this podcast is going to be named after, The Conspiracy Cast. A big shout out to my co-host, who will be joining me for the real episodes. As I said, this is just a test, Riddler. And a big thank you to Psycho, who created the panel that you're currently looking at. He basically did this because I have no idea what I'm doing with Photoshop, and otherwise you would just have been looking at a black screen. So, gonna sign off there. If anybody who's not in the guild, hey, even if you are in the guild, just leave a comment, tell me what you thought. Please try to be constructive. Rate, comment, subscribe, and thank you very much for listening. Okay, bye-bye.